Welcome to the Energy Hour. The Energy Hour is brought to you by Quality Home Improvement, Southern California's premier residential and commercial contractor, making homes and businesses energy efficient, one building at a time.
What's going on, Southern California? I am Christopher Moss, your host on the Energy Hour podcast. Today is February 1st. Happy Chinese New Year, everybody. Woo-woo!
Happy Chinese New Year.
Right? Come
Absolutely.
on, we're here.
Year of the Tiger,
We're
guys.
just year of
Is
the
it the year of the tiger? Wow.
That's right.
Year of the
Is it the
tiger.
tiger?
Because I always have the eye of the
Wow.
tiger.
That's awesome.
This is the year of
The
the
year of the
tiger.
tiger.
All right.
I feel
We're
it.
here, baby. Year of
There
the
we go.
tiger. So today is kind of a cool day because we got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things to talk about. One of the most important parts, I think, is what's going to happen with NEM 3.0. Me and Rob are going to get into that for a minute. It affects Charles and everybody else, Ray. And so we have a pretty good little show here we're going to start up with. So let's start at the top. What's up, Rob?
How you doing, sir?
What's happening, man? What have you been doing?
Life, man.
Didn't your son just turn 20?
He's going to turn 20 this weekend.
Oh, wow.
That
How
just-
cool is that,
It's
right?
crazy.
Oh, my
No, it's-
gosh.
I don't know if it's cool. It just means I'm old. Wait,
Well, I just turned 60, but
Yeah, you did.
I still feel 30.
that's the main thing, man.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't plan on growing up.
Neither do I.
My
man.
motto's always been die young as late as possible.
I love it.
That's
Nice. I love it. I
Right?
love it. Charles is in the house, the king of loans, man.
Big
The
Chris
king of
Moss,
loans.
my
What's
friend.
happening?
How are you?
I'm doing great. Today is Tuesday,
Right?
Yes.
Chinese New Year, man.
Taco Tuesday for me.
Taco Tuesday,
Okay, you know,
nice.
right?
Hey, where's Hazel? Is she around somewhere?
Hazel, where's Hazel? My
Does
little-
Hazel like
She's in the
tacos?
house.
Oh.
Our mascot, her
Hazel
Hazel has a new mascot. Her
There you
name's
go.
Hazel. She's a 6-year-old
Yeah.
chocolate lab service dog.
She's a sweetheart.
She is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to put her lab on camera one of these days.
Yeah. We'll get her on camera
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
And we got Ray in the house. What's
Ray,
up, Ray?
Nothing much. How are you?
Or
Come
is it-
on, man. Say
I
more.
thought you go by Jason Bourne. Is that
I am
your
Jason
handle?
Bourne.
Okay, just checking.
We got a great show here today, guys. Remember, cannot hold back on the laughter.
Sure.
Laughter heals everything.
Absolutely.
So when your life is shit, nothing's
you
going
can't
on.
laugh,
You
can't
can laugh. If you can't laugh at it, it's still going to be shit.
It's free.
So you might as well
Laughing
laugh
is
at it.
free,
You might as well laugh at it,
Might as
right?
well laugh at it, you know?
Exactly.
Like I
Exactly.
said, if it wasn't so tragic, it'd be a comedy.
There you go.
Very, very true. All right, let's get into the first topic here. I don't want to say the thing on the top, but it says China revolt now. But anyways, we'll get into that in a second. NEM 3.0, Rob.
NEM 3.0.
Here we are.
When's it going into effect?
You know, they had all these things down in Los Angeles, right? Guys with signs twirling around.
Right, yeah.
Let's stop this and stop that. And they had the 4 people, I think, in a committee sitting there,
Yeah.
kind of like doing nothing. They were just listening to calls. Sean and I was in this room, and they got I think it was 30 seconds to plead their case. Why not to let NEM 4.0 go? You know, you got these guys from different companies, and some of these just nobodies just because I want to save the planet or something like that, right? Yeah. So they gave and these guys that were in the committee were sitting there. I think one of them is leaning back, kind of, snot rolling down the side of his mouth. And it was basically a go ahead and tell me what you think session, but I don't know if I'm going to let it pass. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing.
It's horrible.
This is my opinion. First of all, every one of these NEMs is worse than the one before. The reason they're pushing so hard now is because we, keep this in mind, are being so effective switching people. If solar wasn't taking on, they wouldn't give a shit. The reason NEM3 is trying to railhouse people in, cost them more money, and try to kill the solar market is because solar is being effective. Solar is saving people money.
I mean, that's a compliment,
And they know
right?
it's a threat. Yeah, absolutely. So they know it's a threat to Edison. They know it's a threat to LADWP,
Hey guys, I got
PG&E,
a quick question
all of
for
it.
you, to the layman,
So we're doing a good work.
Like Ray,
Yeah.
what the hell is NEMN?
Net energy,
stand for?
net
is
energy metering.
Okay.
And go ahead, Chris. Tell them about it.
Yeah.
Well, net energy metering is put into place to kind of centralize how it works in the electric industry, when you're feeding back to the grid.
Right.
In the beginning, when they had the California Energy Commission put into play, California and the United States government was really in charge of rebates and processes, right? Well, that didn't last too long. I think because Edison, San Diego, and PG&E, and I think Big Bear Electric was one of the first ones. They put in $3.2 billion. So whoever put the money in were capable of giving rebates. And so they had the million roofs launch, right? And then after that, Edison or somebody probably lobbied and say, wait a second, we put the money in, we should be able to police what's going on. So, of course, now on your Edison thing, when you're doing the NEM, it has the Edison logo.
Got it.
Basically, all they did was let the wolf in the hen's house.
Got it.
And these wolves, and I'm talking about all these flipping utilities, all they did was take the rebate and they used it on some of their own projects. So it minimized the monies available for residential customers.
Really need it.
Who really needed
Right.
to make a difference, right? Because they wanted to go green.
And that was the original point of it all.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Didn't Schwarzenegger, wasn't he governor? Wasn't he kind of launched the whole $1 million roof?
Schwarzenegger,
kickoff, right?
the
Is
million roofs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
He's the one that did it.
Right.
And so this was an incentive. And listen to this. They had a state tax credit at 15%.
Yeah.
They had a federal tax credit at 30%, and then a $4.50 per watt
Back in the day,
rebate.
right? Oh, yeah, back in the day.
Oh my God! Today that would cover your solar system and then some. 100% covered.
Yeah.
So what happened is these utilities, they grabbed all this money a little bit at a time, especially with the self-generated incentive program,
Right.
SGIP.
Right.
And they started to suck back. And I'm telling you right now, it's because they were a for-profit business.
Of course.
They got the ability to, get a little payday with that. And now they partnered up with some of these other guys. I'm sure they told, hey, put up a bunch of solar fields and we'll partner up and then you'll get a little bit of the change, blah, blah, blah.
Well, guys, that kind of rings a bell to me. It kind of reminds me of the mortgage whole meltdown, and when these banks were giving billions of dollars, Wells Fargo,
To
B of A,
strippers and pole dancers.
right?
Shit like that.
These monies were given to supposedly these lenders and these banks to help out the homeowners. Well,
Right.
what did they do instead? They kept all the fucking money,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And they didn't help out the homeowners. That's why a lot of them, got penalized with the jail time, et cetera. But
Right.
it sounds like the same BS, that our society and government has been trolling, since day one, right? Whether it
Yeah.
be solar incentives or mortgage rebates,
Yeah,
whatever the case may be.
The
Right.
utility is a profit business.
It's a big
They're
mafia.
not out. It
Absolutely.
basically is. It's a legalized mafia.
Absolutely. Right.
And the thing with the NEM is the same thing. Every single NEM that comes out is worse than the one before. They try to tell you don't get solar on your home, yet they're buying solar, and they'll sell it to you for more. I still think that's crazy, right?
Or
hey
lease
Ray,
it
would you,
is. Or
would you
lease it.
like to have solar from Edison? We'll charge you more for it if it's
Right.
clean.
Not at all.
Except we could
Or-
put it on your roof for cheaper.
Well,
and
what
it's
about
clean.
this, guys?
But you're leasing it also, too.
Yes.
You're leasing it or purchasing it. We do more purchases than leases.
Wasn't there some type of-
They lease it on a PPA.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
them.
the
us.
utilities lease them. Yeah.
But wasn't there some type of big voting, right, when it came to passing a solar tax for the Edison or whatever the case may be? If a customer wanted to get solar in the house to save some money, right? Now the electric companies are trying to pass what? Some type of surtax, right?
This
if you
is-
have solar.
This is NEM
This is
3.0.
NEM. Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
So you
I got
still
it.
get the federal tax incentive. The ITC, the investment tax credit, still applies at 26%. But what they're trying to do basically is saying, well, we're going to up your connection fees. We're going to up this and that to try to make it less attractive.
Right.
Because they just want you to buy their energy and their clean energy.
In effect, I think by doing that, they're going to make it very less attractive, right?
Well, think about it.
They could,
The blue collar worker.
Yeah.
The
and
normal
these
guy.
these are the guys, but don't they're not all that perfect. Trust me.
We get it.
These little yahoos
Right.
will go and say, "Hey, I got sleep apnea," and they'll get this medical discount, and with nobody in the family using a freaking sleep apnea machine, or they'll make purposely. It's like, these other guys that are saying, "Oh, I'm low income,"
Sure.
but they make $1 million somewhere else. And they're taking advantage of the situation. You know what? The utility knows this stuff. And help everybody of those clowns get caught.
do you?
Yeah, because
I don't.
Clowns.
See,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't. You know
Right.
why? I don't because the utility's been screwing the average American for years. So if somebody
Absolutely.
finds a loophole because you've been overcharging me and raising my rate 7% a year, and if you compound that every decade, you're charging me more than double.
Right.
Find the loophole. There is no reason energy needs to cost what it's costing for the homeowner today.
I agree. I mean,
And that's my thing. So when I see somebody, and I've come across them. How many times have we seen grandmas on the utility bill because she's 80 and doesn't have a job?
Of course.
Okay, well, until grandma passes, if you weren't raping your customer, excuse my language, they wouldn't need to find that loophole because take a look at what $500, $600, $700, $800 bills we see sometimes a month for electricity.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, that's just not
our
right.
society, has made us to be enablers or opportunists. What does that mean? Even through the COVID pandemic, guys, how many guys that were getting these small business bailouts? Supposedly.
Oh,
Guess
yeah.
what?
Well,
they never owned any business.
Or
I know quite a few guys which won't name their names, right?
Really?
Or including successful
have
businesses that got bailed out and
tens
they
of
needed
thousands
none.
of dollars.
Wait a second. The guy didn't even own a business?
They didn't own a business. Just
and they
knew a
applied
guy.
and they got money.
Just knew a guy. They gave him an idea.
I
I
know
can
a guy?
do this for you.
What
We
about-
all know
but-
a guy.
but what about-
And, for a couple bucks, when you get your 30, 40, 60,000, give me 5,000 on the back and we'll call it a day.
But then again, on the other side of that,
Imagine that, guys.
on the other side of that was and get your drum roll ready.
That's
a good one.
Get your
That's a
drum
good
roll
one.
ready because on the other side of that, Kanye West got $4 million.
Oh, okay.
Did he need it?
Of course not.
No.
artists.
So see, you got to understand too that on the other side of that is very wealthy businesses that didn't need a bailout, who took a bailout, and churches
But-
that took bailouts that don't even get. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They're already tax free. So I just think there's always someone trying to take advantage, and right now in NEM3, it's the utility still trying to take advantage of its customers. So customers need to understand their rights and understand where they can save.
Hey, listen, many of these wildfires in the past, like the one up in Northern California, what is it, Pleasant Ridge or Pleasantville or wherever the hell it was?
Sure.
What is it, like 8,000 homes and 800 dead or something like that? What are they? You didn't hear anything about that. I think somebody in that organization needs to pay up. Did they ever pay up for that? Do you know?
They probably did, and that's why the rates are going up.
Oh,
You have to
so we're
understand,
paying
these
for that.
companies
rates.
never will pay.
Of course.
That's a whole
their
other can of
mistake.
worms that we'll get into.
You, the consumer, will pay for their mistake.
Absolutely.
Just
They're
like
so
sending your kids to
insulated.
college.
The
or something.
small guys always end up paying for it.
and
right,
then
guys?
and then
The
why,
normal
why,
blue-collar
why are
workers.
they able to stay in
That would
business?
be me.
Because they are
Absolutely.
quote unquote too big to fail.
Oh, hey,
The rich
Rob.
get richer. The poor get
So
poorer,
they will
guys.
they'll make sure the utility continues to do what it's doing.
Sure.
And here's the thing. If Edison and DWP and all these people were so wise, what they wouldn't be doing is another NEM3 or 4 or 5 that keeps screwing the homeowner. They would look at a house and say, look, you need 20 panels. Your roof can support 30. Put the 30 on. We're going to help you, and we're going to take that back. And then you can have a totally distributed energy grid that you don't have to build big fields for.
Isn't that what Germany did?
It's what a lot of smarter countries do.
Just
We're not the
saying.
smartest country. I'm sorry.
You know?
I hate to tell you that.
We thought we were
We're so far
smart.
behind.
We're so far behind, right?
We are so far behind. Europe
We
is
are
running
behind.
Europe runs circles around us, energy grid wise.
Yeah.
But just imagine the millions of homes. If you had 5 to 10 extra panels per home, that's 5 to 10 million extra panels that could be feeding back to the grid. The consumer doesn't need it. If you offset it, their solar almost becomes free, and they have a bigger grid that they didn't have to go build a utility scale utility for.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect.
But they have, why they haven't done it?
Why?
They haven't figured out how to profit enough from it.
Of course.
That's the bottom line.
Hence NEM 3.0. I'm just going to discipline everybody that paid
Right.
attention,
Right.
went green, sacrificed, paid all that money, and now I'm going to discipline you at $42 to $45 a month for a connection
And
fee.
it's what, about 12
Thank
now?
you very kindly.
It's about 12 right now, right? So what justifies a tripling to quadrupling of that number? Nothing.
Nothing, of course.
Absolutely.
But
You know what I call that?
Choices
You know what
do
I
these
call that?
customers have?
I call
they got
that-
to pay their bills.
I call
Electric's
that-
going to be cut off. Right, Rick?
You know what I call that number, Chris?
What?
A rectal pull. They pulled that
Nice.
number
Now
out of
that's
their
a low
ass.
blow.
No, and they
Nice.
figured out how far can we go
Right.
before somebody shuts us down. So they're always looking for that maximum number. We always talk about the
So-
frog in the boiling
Boiling
water.
waters.
And, and they're trying to get a little bit more greedy. I think at the end of the day, they're going to be knocked down to probably 20 something bucks.
Yeah. Why anything? Here's the problem. Listen, in the beginning, they said I didn't have to pay $75 a customer to add them to Edison's list to become a solar provider.
Right.
And then bring them to PTO. What is that called? PTO? It's the
permission to operate.
Permission to operate. I had a brain fart there for a second. It's the clown's fault. He's on it.
We're all getting older. The clown. We're all having senior moments.
But anyways, I pay $75 a month every time we do a solar system at Southern California Edison.
Right.
We didn't do that before. They said in the beginning that permits were going to be absolutely free.
Right.
That didn't happen.
Of course not.
And now NEM 3.0, what's it going to take? NEM 12.0? The connection fee for your solar customer is $250.
Right.
Yeah.
When do you stop, man? Here's what's going to happen.
When the public gets enough lobbyists to say we don't even need to be connected to you.
No, somebody like me is going to create a disruptive energy device. And I'm going to have it on everybody's house making energy. And Edison's going to squeal like a cut pig.
Of course.
And there's nothing they're going to do about it.
Right.
We're going to disconnect the meter and say, "Au fangu."
Hey,
and have that little
hold on,
thing.
you got Italian on me. Phenomenal.
Until that happens,
wow.
grab your knees and here comes the pain. Right?
boy.
Grab your ankles. That's it.
Oink,
Well,
oink.
I got to get a squealing pig in there, don't I?
Oh my God.
You know what happens to pigs? They get slaughtered eventually, and that's what they're doing. They're being greedy, and they're going to the point where they're going to get themselves slaughtered, and someone's going to come in with something bad. It's okay. You're a for-profit company. We understand there's cost of living and different things that go up.
Sure.
Understood. No one's got a problem with that. But to go from a $10 to $12 fee to try to say it's going to be $40-something, there's no justification for it. You should be shot down in court.
Well, the electric companies are still pigs, but they have that old saying, let's put some lipstick on that pig. Guess what? They're still pigs. Here we
Oink,
go.
oink.
Well, no. Well,
Just saying.
But Chris, this
And
one,
the crowd goes wild.
this one goes against the.
Yeah.
But here's where they're going to get screwed, in my opinion.
Okay.
This goes against the frog in the boiling water.
Okay.
So the frog in the boiling water, if you don't know it, which I say it almost every time,
I love that terminology.
is that if I have a boiling pot of water on a stove and I throw a frog in it, it jumps out immediately.
Right.
If I put it in a pot of water that's room temperature and I slowly increase, it'll boil to death. Mm-hmm. So that's what they've done with their rates. They've determined by so many studies that 6 to 7% pisses you off but doesn't lose you as a customer. It's not going to make you go crazy, right? They're now trying to go from a $10 to $12 connection fee to 40-something.
Right.
That's turning the gas up too fast, and I think they're going to get screwed.
And you know what, Rob?
And I think that's what's going to bring the public down on them. And my life of me, I don't understand. If I've got a solar system and a battery system big enough, I don't need to be connected to you.
Here's the problem, though.
I don't need it. And if I don't have energy, it's my own fault. But guess what? I will have when San Andreas hits or something goes crazy or the zombie apocalypse. I will have power. You won't, because I got my 2 battery units. I got my solar, and everyone else is shanking each other to try to get power on. And you got to put blinds in your house and nobody sees your lights are on because you were the only smart one on the block.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah,
right.
But I think their greed factor, when you start to quadruple it, that's where the people start to, you know what it is? People are normally not that smart, not that plugged in. They're distracted by HBO and Netflix and all these things. They don't
Social media.
They don't pay
Because
attention
they're
to stuff.
brainwashed. That's right.
But eventually, when you come over there and you hit them over the head with a stick that's 4 times more expensive, someone's going to notice.
Well, let me ask you guys a question here, right? You guys are the roofing, solar, home improvement, energy saver specialists here. Why is that, with the typical layman in the public, right? Mm-hmm. They have such a bad view or portrayal of solar. Well, what has happened in your industry, right? That is it lack of education? Is
mostly.
it a little bit of everything else? But typically when I mention solar people, instead of just saying, "Oh my God,"
it's like a turnoff,
it's like a turnoff, right? And so why is that, guys?
People, a couple things.
Okay,
First,
go ahead.
They think it's too good to be true. You can't save me that much money.
Got it.
Believe it or not, some of the companies that came out in the beginning that were trying to do good, like the solar cities of the world, they blanketed and went through so many potential customers so fast with badly educated salespeople that they made it look like it was
They had cartons
a
of
problem.
lipstick.
Yeah, no, exactly. So they started getting a bad idea about what it was, and then they had bad installs, and then all of a sudden it started taking off, but they couldn't handle the scale of growth and things like that. So people weren't getting the installs they should have had. There was a number of things.
It was like a cash grab for solar.
And that's what it looked like.
Kind of like with miners, to me being a mortgage broker for 25 years. You know,
and you've seen that before.
When these loans came out in 2000s, right? 100%. No money out of your pocket.
Right.
Stated called CECL loan. Stated income, stated assets. There's another loan even better than that.
Mm-hmm.
What about no money out of your pocket, right? Mm-hmm. No income, no assets.
Yeah.
As long as you have a 700 FICO score, guys.
Yeah, I got those.
You could buy, say, all of us had those loans, right? Yeah. And so back then, you know, green peas are coming into the mortgage profession, right? Making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a commission, lying to their clients about, you know, how the loans work.
Right.
Why? Because just easy cash grab and a monkey could sell.
Right.
Know?
No, exactly.
So it's kind of seems something similar.
Something very similar.
To what I experienced,
unbelievable.
right?
Yeah. And that's what happened.
Why do we do that to each other?
Greed.
Is that what it is?
And so what ended up having to happen in solar is the market had to settle itself down.
Got it.
And the market had to go ahead and kind of recalibrate, because solar, for 85% of people, is a no-brainer.
Right.
And they're just not educated, and they don't get
But
it.
unfortunately, because of what happened in your industry,
We still have to,
right?
you know, and I'll have someone in the house. It's always funny. They got a $400 a month bill.
Sure.
I show them I'm going to cut it down to like 170.
Right.
And you know what they tell me?
What's that?
I don't know about that. Seems too good to be true.
Right.
And you know what I tell them? It's because you're grading it on the curve of how you've been screwed by your utility for the past 30 years.
But not just that.
That's the big problem.
I think social media changes that too.
True, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
they listen, they watch, and they keep, you know, listening to other people instead of really looking at the whole thing.
Yeah, Chris, do we have one customer that's mad at us right now for saving them money?
No, not. I don't.
Do we still have people every month send us even a bill that says, "Look, I'm still negative."
Yeah,
they're excited
all the
about
time.
It. That needs to spread out there, because the 7% a year is bullshit. It's lining the executives' pockets. And you know how I know that? Also, because we sell the executives of Edison and LADWP and P&G. They have solar systems.
Right.
And they still get 30 to 40% off their bills because they're executives, and they still switch to solar. You know how good it is to switch an executive making $600,000 a year at Edison? And why do you want solar?
They won't tell the public
you know what they
that,
tell
will
me? You know why I want it. They
They
know.
on social media and brag about that one, will they?
No, they
I
don't.
think
They
so.
just they want to keep it on the QT.
Absolutely.
But for most people, look, it's a way to fix your bill. It's a way to not have it go up every year.
Right.
It's a way to avoid future cost. It's a way to own it and get yourself a tax incentive. Why are you giving your tax incentive to an organization, a company like that?
Sure.
Why give Edison your tax incentive from the government?
Right.
Why let them set your price?
I'll tell you this, guys, and I'll speak for myself, but I'm sure I'm not the only one in the room here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys notice the prices of gas?
Yeah.
Fast food. Right.
yeah.
Groceries. You
Yeah.
know, just the cost of living. So I would think right now that
Yeah.
saving a couple $100 a month could really help out, you know.
Any way you can.
The normal Joe Schmo trying to, decide,
Absolutely.
should I,
Well, you know,
can I afford a Happy Meal for my kid or not?
And even for business, and even for
forget the Happy Meal, kid.
and even for businesses, right?
Right.
If you look at a business, one of the things you'd love to be able to do is know what your expenses are, right?
Of course.
You want to forecast.
Yes.
Okay, well, what better way of forecasting is to know your energy bill will never go up? You get to write off 60% of it as a business. You get to pay it off, own it, and never pay them again.
You know, I hear
love that.
from people all the time when I mention solar. Isn't it expensive? So let me ask you a question, guys. Isn't that what you guys? Isn't it expensive?
Yeah.
So,
I love this.
Okay, give me your response to that one. That
I have sometimes a customer go, hold on, my system's costing 35 to 40 grand.
right.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
You're going to pay that off in a 20-year loan. You can pay it off sooner if you want, right?
Okay.
All right.
Absolutely.
Your bill's going to go up currently. The bill you have is going to go up at 6-7% a year. Let's factor that for the next 20 years.
Compounded.
So basically, your $35,000 to $40,000 system offset $170,000 in potential charges.
Right.
Was that expensive?
Absolutely.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't
Hello?
expensive at all. You just saved.
Hello.
You saved
Oh,
130
hello.
grand.
Yeah, I got you.
Because you're avoiding that future energy cost.
Yes. Got
All
it.
those increases and everything. So when you look at it, Chris has a great way. We go to the market board once in
Right,
a while,
right.
and he'll have a customer in here, and he'll show you, by the time you show the avoided cost of future energy, by the time you get your tax incentives, by the time you look at the house increasing in value, all these wonderful things, your solar was free.
So you're trying to tell me, guys, it's
Wasn't
almost,
it? It's
costs
essentially free.
It costs absolutely
Nothing.
So that's
nothing.
like 20 years ago, saying a price of gas for a gallon was, $1.15 a gallon, right? 20 years ago. Now it's $5 a gallon. So what you're saying, effectively, it's the same thing with the energy bill, right? It's going to keep on increasing.
So what
boiling frog
yeah. So
right, I got it.
theory.
Right.
what did what's the airline?
United?
No.
TWA.
The small one that goes up and down the coast all the time. You know,
The budget
Oh,
one?
Southwest.
Southwest.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
How did they stay competitive? They
Yeah.
hedged their bet and they bought their fuel for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
They bought it at a flat
reduced
rate.
Flat rate. They locked it
Okay,
in.
they
Right.
locked it in. Everybody said, "Oh, it's a gamble. What are you doing?" Well, that's why you can
So
go
that's
to.
in effect,
you can
that's
spend
kind of like buying your
$70 to take a
solar,
flight.
right? You're buying it at a locked
That's what
rate.
you're doing.
That's what
you're
doing.
buying it at a locked rate. You're getting your tax
Got it.
incentive.
Makes sense.
And you're betting that it's a very safe bet. Think about it. You're betting that the utility cost is going to go up.
Right.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Like
Historical
everything else.
data shows us it's never done anything.
Sure.
More, it's always done that.
Right.
But if I can flatten it out and take a tax advantage, I'm the stupid one if I don't do it. My brother has a whole house fan. He's got 38 panels on his roof. He's got a 4,000 square foot house. He used to have $600 a month bill, and he's got about $20 a month now. How's that
Just
not a
saying.
brilliant deal?
I have a question. So
Yes.
how do we teach people?
Unfortunately, it's
Well-
through things like this and one person at a time and getting in their homes and showing them.
We show this on the website, right? I show it on LinkedIn, social media. The podcast is syndicated throughout the planet. Even in people in Istanbul can listen to the show, right?
Right.
And, the reality is getting somebody to do something that's going to cost them time. Really, if it's not social media based, they would rather take a picture of their ass, put it on Instagram, and say how cool I am, so they can feel like part of the cool clique when they're just, narcissists, clowns, whatever you want to call them, right? They would rather do that, drink the Kool-Aid, and I call it, and, this is part of the matrix.
Right.
Everybody's plugged in until you
yeah.
unplug.
And who has the bigger audience? Who has the bigger budget?
Yeah, the utilities.
We're the small guys out there showing the individuals one house at a time, one business at a time.
Edison even has this Edison Education Center in Irwindale, California.
Yep.
Of course, funded by you.
Right.
You can go there anytime to take, and I've taken most every class that they have there. It's a very well thought out process. The classes are spectacular. I mean, they feed you a 5-star meal in the beginning at breakfast. And if you're there for an 8-hour course, the meal is 5 stars as well for lunch, right? They got freaking chefs in the back, putting this stuff together for you, right? This whole entire education center, all the way down from Thomas Edison till current, is the bomb. It is the best show
And
you'll ever see in
do you
your
know why
life.
they can put it on?
It's on your bill. You pay for
You're
it.
paying for it.
Right. But another reason, they know most people are too self-absorbed, busy, and stupid to
To
go
come
take
over
the
and
class.
check it out.
So
But I
what
told you
they're
I'm gonna
do-
go
so you know
check
what
it
they're
out.
doing?
I want to do
You know
it.
what they're doing? It's almost like someone coming out and saying, "Here's a big program. Drugs are bad for you, but you're
Right.
still going to go do the drugs because
Right,
it's
of
easier."
course.
Yeah, here's
That's
the thing of
problem with
cocaine.
it.
Here's a little baggie for you.
No,
Hello there.
No.
Hi there.
So
Yeah.
there, to me, in the industry right now, there's not a bigger no-brainer. We get to save the consumer money, we get to create jobs, right, and we get to save a bit of the planet, all in one stroke. All right, I don't know anybody I know that has a house that isn't on solar,
Right.
and hasn't
They
had a
shouldn't
great
be, yeah.
experience with it. The main thing, though, is you need to be with people that understand how to design a system. And the other unfortunate thing, like you said, how did it get a bad rap, Charles, a little
Yes,
bit, is because they get this 20-year-old that never sold anything in their life and never
Right.
knows anything about solar.
Sure.
And after a week or 2 weeks of training, they throw them into somebody's house as a professional.
And
What color is most of our hair in this room?
right. Well, it's mostly dialect.
Yeah, great.
I got the rejuvenator.
Yeah, okay.
for Charles.
But you know what I
The
mean?
rejuvenator. Hello there.
No, you know what
Just saying.
It's because we're the dinosaurs that know how this stuff
Right.
works and why
Right.
it works. And if someone's coming into your house from our company, you have a seasoned professional.
Right.
And if you do it right, you're never going to have an issue. We have nothing but happy customers because we know how to design. And these other
has a pandemic, this COVID, all this BS, right? Has it affected your business positively or
negatively? Because the first thing is,
way?
Well, first of all, where do we do our business? In homes.
Okay.
In businesses. Guess what they did? Guess what they didn't want to let you do? Can't get in for a year.
Right.
There was a whole year we couldn't get in homes.
Just like with me doing mortgages.
Absolutely.
These appraisers.
Yeah.
The homeowners would let the appraisers in their property because they wanted to sell their house or do a refinance because of COVID.
Yeah.
So a lot of our loans
I'll meet you in your backyard on a
Absolutely.
patio table with a mask on 6 feet away, and can still save you money. But it doesn't mean your life shuts down.
Right.
And to me, the sad part about it is there's a lot of people that lost jobs and lost income and things like that. This was a time you should have been going solar. This was a time you needed to find every possible way to save money.
To back that up, right. So
save money,
right
save
now,
money,
people
save
need
money.
to save as much as they can.
And this is one of the easiest no-brainers. Look, you bought your house. Why aren't you renting?
Right.
If you rent, you know the value of owning, right?
Absolutely.
Well, the value of owning your power is as big as owning your house.
Absolutely.
So, at a time when people needed to save more money, they didn't feel they could, and you could. We did Zoom meetings. We did stuff online to sell, but it wasn't as good for a while for us.
It probably affected my business about 5%.
5%.
Believe it or not.
Because you do a lot of other things.
Nothing. Which is almost nothing.
We don't sit there and have our little, help I'm a homeless solar guy bag.
Sure.
Like most of these yahoos out there.
Right.
We call them rabbits.
Okay.
A new guy comes out of college or drinks a Kool-Aid and works for company XYZ.
Sure.
Most of them go hoorah or whatever the hell they are. I'm taking their guys all the time because they finally come out of the ether, right?
Exactly. Right.
So, anyways, if they're not there for a specific amount of time, they bounce around like a pinball machine.
Right.
Eventually, they come to me and they realize they've been getting raped all their life.
Yeah, the training wheels are off now.
Yeah,
right?
now they can make an income. But anyways, I prefer that because I want them to get beat up, right?
And actually, the training wheels aren't off. They never got trained in the first
properly.
place.
Right.
So all of a sudden, when they meet someone like Chris or myself, and they start talking to us, they're like, I never knew that.
You mean the sun does shine?
Yeah. You know what happens? No. Like when Charles started mentioning that solar got a bit of a bad with the consumers. Right. No, it got a bad flavor
training
for salespeople. They thought, how do I make money in this? And it's like, well, you can't keep going to companies that are
a joke.
They spend all their money in marketing. They spend very little on what goes on your roof, people.
Sure.
That's why you have a 320 watt.
Well, guys,
Chinese panel on your roof instead of a 440 watt Silicon Valley.
It's all about economics, right?
Sure.
Let's let these guys go into the house, sell it for as high as they can, buy it for as cheap as we can, and then rape this guy in the back end by saying, "Oh, you should have added a service panel upgrade."
Right.
That's coming out of your commission.
By the way,
that happens all the time.
You never heard of this? Buy low, sell high, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Chinese discount, 20% up, 40% off.
Working with you guys is a breath of fresh air. Why? Because you guys really care about your clients.
Absolutely.
And you give them, you'll tell them right away. Well, you know what, Chris or Rob here or anybody here at this table, Ray, give them, the right system for their wants and needs of their family. I mean, do you want to maybe cut your bill in half or deduct it by $200 or $300, or you know what?
Right.
We can give you an upgraded system, maybe a $10K, and really eliminate your monthly bill. How about that?
For me,
everything is about giving people options.
I don't sell.
That's it.
I don't sell any customer anything I wouldn't sell my own family.
Absolutely.
And that's why we have nothing but good reviews.
Cool.
Hello.
Awesome.
Hello.
QHI.
Because selfishly, I like to sleep at night. You know what I mean? I like to sleep at night. I know all my customers got what they needed. And
I mean, honestly, Rob,
it feels good.
Would you feel bad? I would feel so horrible coming out of a house knowing that I just, torched this guy for whatever reason.
I'd rather be poor and living on the street than screw someone over.
That's just not cool.
To me, though, we get to sleep at night. We know we put the right system on their roof. We knew we calculated it conservatively. We know the worst case scenario. What's our philosophy? Worst case scenario is it's going to produce what we told you.
Right.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Best case scenario is going to produce more than we told you. And the way we calc it is to do that. And so we could just go to sleep at night. We know. I know.
And wake up feeling good too.
Yeah, you know what? I know people that working for these big brands. They're afraid to answer a call from a past customer.
Well, it's almost
I'm
like,
not. I'm like, oh, probably guy. He has a referral.
A great
Probably
referral.
because they're happy. I know they are.
Sure.
We stay in contact. How many times you call a customer 3 months later and say, "Is it still doing what I told you it was?"
even better. No.
Hey, listen,
Right.
No
not
one does
only,
that. We do that.
not only have I got those calls,
Sure.
I get calls from other customers that are not our customers yet
Yeah.
that have the worst installation
Oh my
Right.
God.
I've seen in my entire life.
Right.
Sean and I just saw one, and it was crazy. The guy used like PVC pipe up on
And
the
some duct
roof
tape. What?
besides
Some duct tape.
conduits.
I get it.
I mean, this guy
Sure.
really just jerked this guy up, and I think when he put his lags in, I don't know if he hit anything.
Was there a sprinkler system?
Did you have to bring out the jack jaw?
It's really tough.
Yeah, the jack jaw.
We sometimes are brought in as the fixer.
But let me tell you,
course.
this customer cost him $3,000,
Right.
just to partially repair it.
Well, it's like, guys, you know,
That should be a crime.
But part of that you have to also think the public needs to understand something.
Sure.
I come from architecture. I come
Right.
from doing large buildings and so forth, right? I know the lowest bid is as dangerous as the high bid.
Yeah.
The highest bid is just gouging
Hey,
you.
hey, guys.
The lowest bid cuts something out that should have been
I'm gonna
there.
break it down very simple. It's like
Right?
when your car breaks down, go to a mechanic.
Yeah.
You want to go to Pepe Le Pew's garage, right?
Right.
Or you want to go to your Toyota certified dealer,
So you've
right?
heard the saying
Just
that says
right?
you get what you pay for, right?
Absolutely.
Do you know who came up with that saying?
Of course, no. Who
Somebody who got screwed.
did? Of course, that's a good one.
Somebody who did. Somebody who got
Absolutely.
screwed.
Right.
We're
And learned.
we're not the cheapest. We're far from the most expensive.
course.
But you know what I always tell people?
Pepe Le Pew.
People never find the money. Right? People always don't want to have the
Right.
money to do the job right. Right. But they'll always find the money to fix
Hey.
it.
But people are scared of prices.
Yeah, but
Well,
hey, you know what? I beat all the big brands with better
Very
products.
easy. All you got to do is have half a brain and a heartbeat. You can beat all these guys. It's easy.
I see people with bids from all the big box store brands, and we're still at their rate, at the least, maybe even cheaper,
Right.
with far better product. 440 watt Aptos or Solaria panels instead of some REC 320. I mean, and if anybody understands, just like they're selling what they've got in the warehouse. They bought it in volume a year or two ago. Well, that's not cutting edge, is it? No, but I got it in my warehouse and I got to unload it.
you know what reminds me
That's
of,
what
guys?
they're doing.
I don't know if you guys seen this commercial
At the
years
highest
ago.
price, of course.
Crazy
Exactly.
Gideons.
Yeah. Oh,
Crazy
yeah.
Gideon. You know that crazy
Oh, I
guy?
love
The
that
train
guy.
tracks, right? I buy him cheap, I sell him steep. Right?
Right?
So this guy buys all this bullshit that's outdated 2 or 3 years,
Exactly.
but selling you at,
Yeah.
you know, a 55
Is that the guy
inch
that throws the TV off the
Crazy
roof?
Gideon.
Yep.
That's
Crazy Gideon.
Gideon. Made millions.
And there's
Just saying.
Unfortunately, there's still that mentality,
Right,
Because
right.
if they could go buy 10,000 panels and it takes them
And
X
it's-
amount of time to go through,
guys, right.
we're not like that. Every order is custom with us.
Sure.
Wow. Only
put
in
the
America,
latest.
baby.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right? Screw
So
your
that
neighbor.
goes back to why some people and customers don't trust the industry.
Right.
Some of the biggest offenders are the biggest companies,
Sure.
and so
Why would you say that? Because we've worked for him, maybe?
We work for all of them. I only worked for one company that I told you, big, that
Yeah.
didn't do that.
Right.
You know, who
Yeah,
that
me,
is.
you and I did the same thing, same company.
Some power.
But
Some
but
power.
but I want
Right.
but I
Still,
got
still the most expensive, and now they got panels like Solaria and Aptos nipping at
you know,
their heels.
and then their management turned to crap.
Right.
They got arrogant because they had the great product, right? But now people
Now I'm a competitor.
Like everything else.
You know,
just
I'm a
like
competitor.
electric cars.
Yeah.
Tesla was the biggest first one around. Now all the makers are making electric cars, right?
Yep.
absolutely.
But
And
they
you
want
know
to be
what?
Better,
they wanna be-
cheaper, right?
And in some cases,
Does
you don't
say.
want to necessarily be first to market. You want to be second, so you
Let
can
them
watch the
make the
first
mistakes.
person's mistakes.
Of course.
And then better
Right.
on that.
Right.
That's how a lot
Let
of
them
things
fall
work
on
in
their
the world.
faces,
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, I see what they did. That was wise. Now they opened up the market
Right,
for me,
right,
and
right.
I don't want to do that. That's why
Sure.
Audi and Porsche has 800 volt now that charges so fast. And It's the same
Exactly.
price.
And they sell for themselves.
So
absolutely.
So at the end of the day,
Yes.
I hope that NEM 3.0 does not go through at $45 a pop.
I think it's going to go into the 20 range. That's my prediction.
Well, even if it went to $50,
Right.
Yeah.
if you're a consumer and you're not taking advantage of those incentives and you don't really know how to do the math, hey, listen, I speak Spanish and English.
Sure.
Call me up.
Right.
Well, maybe a little bit of Spanish.
We got Mr. Lopez.
Yeah,
So habla
we
español.
have people here that will
Right.
speak Spanish for
Yo
you.
quiero tacos.
All right, all
There we
right.
go.
There you go.
So you got to do it the right way. Just don't be sitting there with your finger up your shump.
Wondering what the
Doing
the
nothing.
fuck happened, right?
Right, it is what it is.
What it is.
You got to do it the right way.
Of course.
So I hope, Rob, that it doesn't happen. And if it does, it is what it is.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Shame on Southern California Edison.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
What about shame on the borrowers, the consumers, for not, making that decision to get solar?
I think us.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the solar providers
saying,
need
right?
to
I mean,
unite a little bit better and help each other make sure that doesn't happen.
Conversation, talking to people,
Yeah.
just letting them know.
That's
Okay,
what it is, yeah.
okay, Ray. We burned
Ray.
up NEM 3.0, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty much.
We could probably talk another hour, probably.
I think we're almost in 4.0. So 4.0 is going to be even worse. So one thing we didn't
Right.
say,
5G.
okay, is the 3.0. Look, guys, it's about 4 months away from taking effect, no matter what.
Right.
So if you're thinking on solar right now, and you should be, okay, start calling.
It
now.
kinda sounds
start
like,
start ringing the phone.
The interest rates, they're going up
Yeah.
a 0.25%
So-
every quarter.
so
So,
do
if
you-
you think about refinance, you better do it
Do
now.
it now,
Right?
Do it now.
Don't wait.
right?
Charles
Just
looked at me
saying.
with those eyes.
Yeah, no,
What
do
are you
it
doing,
now.
man? What are you doing, man?
Take advantage of the best situation
Right.
you possibly
Right.
can.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right. Here's another topic that I
do we
thought
got?
was pretty compelling.
All right.
Ray brought this to my attention. I kind of heard it before, but I didn't really know it was that rampant now. We happen to have a
Rampant.
lay flat thing.
Lay flat.
Chinese are saying they don't want minimum wage
Sure.
anymore, or blah blah blah. They're a bunch of crypto kid lazy fucks, as far as I'm concerned. Kick them out,
Still
man.
sucking off the titty, right?
Any
Kinda something like
kid
that,
that's
right?
hooked up to mom's breast,
Right.
at 30,
Still sucking off
needs
the
to
tit.
get open-handed smacked. You know what I'm saying?
I could agree with you more.
I mean, seriously, just a wake up call
Right.
of what the hell do
are
you
you
think
doing?
you're doing?
Right.
Especially if they don't contribute to the family.
Most of them don't.
Which is crazy, right? So these crypto kids, hey, I'm going to get that domain name.
Crypto
Kids.
kids.
Somebody's
Crypto
probably
kids.
getting it while
a
I'm
good one.
speaking about it, right? But anyways, these crypto kids, these
Right.
lazy, I want to be a stock analyst.
Sure.
The put butter on the floor so mom and dad slips and smacks their skulls.
Right.
So they get to go buy another quarter or another month,
Sure.
stuff like that.
Right.
Immediately grab these useless human beings by the back of their necks and the seat of their ass,
Sure.
open the door, and throw
Kick
their
'em the fuck
asses
out.
out.
Right.
I see.
Yeah.
What the hell
How
is
you really
that?
feel about this, Chris?
I see. I see you have strong feelings about
Yeah.
this.
Does it hit home? Sometimes the truth hurts, guys.
Hey,
Just saying,
listen.
right.
If that's you, tough shit.
Right.
You
Tough
deserve
love.
to get smacked,
Well,
right?
But
Well,
the
what do
sad
you-
thing
what do
is
you wanna
not
say
just
about that, Ray?
the sad thing is
right.
not just happening in China; it's happening here.
In the United
government
States,
paid,
too.
The government
Oh,
paid
yeah,
them
yeah.
EDD money,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
stimulus checks.
Absolutely.
They gave them everything they wanted, and they did not want
COVID money?
Yes,
That's it.
Now companies are trying to pay them bonus checks to give them just to get in the
Absolutely.
door.
You can't get anybody to work anymore.
Sure.
They're
No.
all lazy.
No, right.
Yep.
Listen, you can go to a Target and everybody's wearing pajamas.
Right.
Yep.
And
Are you
flip-
freaking
little
kidding me?
slippers.
No, no,
Yeah, the
Yep.
bedroom slippers.
On their
right?
cell phones.
That's
Right.
Walmart. Sorry.
That's Walmart.
That's everywhere now.
yeah, I get it.
No, that's Walmart. It's like the guy who
Walmart.
said, I went to Walmart. They didn't have what I wanted, so I had
Right.
to go home, shower,
Right.
take my pajamas off, and put some clothes on, and go to
Ain't
Target.
that the truth, brother? Go to Target.
Go to Target. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
What did you say, Target?
Target.
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 It's not
That's-
Target. It's Target.
Oh, you never heard that term?
Je suis pané.
Just saying.
Je sais pané.
Right.
Target.
Oh, as a matter of fact, guys, the men's section in Target has some pretty cool stuff. Outerwear for guys.
Nordstrom's. I always shop at Nordstrom's.
Underwear, hopefully.
English markup.
Oh, yeah. I was surprised.
Target, is that French for Target?
Yeah.
I believe so.
That's
I believe
wrong,
so.
man.
Yeah.
That's cold.
Soon they'll be selling solars soon.
Hey, but their prices have gone up too.
Right.
Target.
Oh, really?
Well,
You know, there's no more 99-cent stores, guys. Now they're $1.25 stores.
Yeah.
Newsflash.
Dollar Tree.
99 went up to
But come on.
125.
And you know why though? It's because they only had 125 billion in profit,
Is that what it
and
was?
the CEO only made 13 million. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
right.
Say that again, Rob.
The
Okay.
The CEO made $13 million that year. The company had 125 billion in profit, so they had to go from 99 cents to $1.25. Because that wasn't enough. We were just talking about greed.
Perfect.
Dollar
Listen-
Tree still stays at a dollar.
Listen, this is the society of we don't care who you
They're
are.
all going to move up to.
We're going to rip
$1.25.
your soul out, throw you out to the wolves, and if you got any crypto money or EDD or whatever the hell money,
Stimulus.
Listen, they're getting grants from the United States government. Are you freaking kidding me? We're sitting here with our shorts down,
Right.
and all it's going to take is some haji
Right.
from somewhere in some yala la la fa la 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 land
right.
to freaking hit us with scud muscles or something. I don't know what it is.
course.
But holy crap, man. And then we're letting them in by the drones.
Of course.
They're freaking sitting next to you with a freaking...
business money to open businesses.
They have a
homes.
C4.
No
Right,
exercise,
of course.
just getting fat.
EB5. I'm just saying.
They've got this vest
Right.
full of pachinko balls and C4. So they're going to make shrapnel out of you. They don't really care.
Right.
And the guys that make a difference,
Right.
those are the guys like Rob and I and Charles
Right,
and,
there
Ray,
you go, and Ray.
that really and
Hazel.
Sean.
And don't forget Hazel.
Come
Hazel,
on, we
come
got to
on,
get
Hazel.
Hazel. She's
Right.
part of the gang,
Of
right?
course.
Hazel.
All right.
Yeah.
But we're trying to make a difference, and it's funny, how we do things. But at the end of the day, we're just saying, open your freaking eyes, man.
Of course.
Listen, God gave you 2 ears to hear twice as much, 2 eyes to see twice as much, and 1 mouth to
One
talk
pie hole
half
that
as
talks
much.
too much. One fucking pie hole, right? Shut your pie hole, okay? Just saying.
Oh my gosh!
It's simple. We just want to help people like we help our own families.
I feel sorry for the future.
So at the end of these days,
Yeah.
these millennials, whoever they're called, the guys that are promoting this lay flat shit,
Right.
wake the hell up,
The
dude.
titty suckers.
The titty suckers.
But you gotta,
Let's call them the titty
the
suckers.
titty suckers.
that comes down to also how you're raising your kids.
Well, wait a second
How
here.
are we raising our
Oh,
kids?
I wouldn't say
Come
that.
on, Rob.
Okay, so my kids though.
Okay.
My kids, and they're very much into the Asian stuff. Japan.
You know, there's a
South
few
Korea.
men in this room that are really into Asian stuff. I don't know what it is with QHI. Just saying.
No, what I mean is,
Oh my God!
I mean, they're
They
trying to
smell
convert.
better.
They're trying
like,
to convert
you should-
me here.
You should bring.
but
You should bring my eldest.
Come
in
on,
here.
Charles.
You should bring.
they love you long time. Okay, I
you
got
should
it.
bring my.
I'm in.
You should bring my kids are not that influenced by society.
You're one of the lucky ones.
No, it's how we raised them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm gonna have to put that
no.
on the fucking plate and just scrape that off a little bit.
No. I don't. How many parents shouldn't be parents?
All of them.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, at
No,
least,
we just talked about this. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I have to get a license to drive a car.
Right.
I have to have licenses to do certain things.
But not a license to fuck.
any-
right.
No, anybody no.
so.
Anybody can have a child. And
Or to kill.
and maybe you're feeding them, but you've abandoned them in so many other ways.
Sure.
I was a role model for my
Wait
kids.
a second.
Kids don't pay attention to what you say; they pay attention to
Your
what
actions.
you do.
Okay.
They watch the
Well, that's
man.
true. All right.
I got it.
So my
Listen.
ex-wife and myself, she's not.
Your
I'm
ex-wife.
not married. My baby
Your ex.
mama,
Are you-
ex-wife.
oh, your ex-wife. The baby's mama?
The baby mama.
Okay,
Right.
got
Okay.
it, got it. Okay.
But I mean, she did her good job, and I
Sure.
did my good job to instill certain values in them. And if you listen to them talk,
To this day.
they'll never lay flat.
Okay.
Well, it's all.
They'll never take a
it's-
handout. They won't take a handout from me.
Hey,
If,
I don't know.
I
about-
try to buy
teacher?
them something, they don't want me to buy something for
Sensei?
them.
See, it's
They're
all
like, "Let
about
me work for it."
communication.
It is a lot about communication.
Communication is everything with your kids.
Well, let me tell you how my
Absolutely.
mom used to communicate me when I
I
was a
think
kid.
Chris and I are pretty on the same page.
know,
Go ahead,
The
Chris.
switch.
I'll let you go.
No, between the age of birth to like I don't know 17, I get this crap
Slapping
kicked
out
out
of
of me all the
course.
time, man.
I moved out at
Old
15.
school.
She was chasing me down with Hot Wheel tracks.
Beat the shit out of your mom. She beat the
I'm
shit
just
out of
like,
you.
really?
That's right.
Have you ever
Come
heard
on.
of a coscaron?
Oh my
My
God, they
dad used
hurt
to hit
so
me with the knuckles
bad.
over the head.
Oh
And that's
my
why
God.
we learned to be better people.
Listen,
I don't know.
now,
I had a really caring, loving home with none of that.
Hey, listen.
had that.
Oh
and,
my
and
God.
I turned out pretty darn good because of that compassion. And that's
How
why,
was rehab yesterday?
Yeah, no, there's no rehab for me, and that's why. No, seriously, when I look at my kids, they continue to surprise me.
No, I got you.
No, that's
you're
great.
blessed.
I
Rob,
know.
you're blessed.
No,
Hey,
no,
we all
I'm
love you,
blessed.
bro.
It
Yeah,
was
you
work.
are.
It was
I get
work
it.
though too.
But still,
There are
hey,
so many parents I see, and I'll tell you this because my
Sure.
other ex, I watched her family who had 9 siblings,
Right.
and one of her brothers could, a lot of them in certain communities,
Right.
they think the size of their penis is dictated in their manhood is by how many kids they have. He had
Right.
7, for God's sake.
Sure.
In this economy in today,
Right.
7. And then
That's
I'd watch
crazy.
him and the wife come home not paying attention to their kids. Nothing. They don't have the energy. They're so tired. They're so dead. And I'm like, why? What'd you think? 7 was going to be easy? 2's a handful.
Well, here's the thing.
So
What is it?
my kids got really quality
most
care.
parents today, both parents work.
Absolutely.
And then back in the days that we were growing up,
Yeah.
mom was always
No,
home.
no, no,
my mom and dad both worked. full
My
time.
mom was always home.
My parents worked.
Well,
My parents were home kicking my ass.
Mine too.
you know that old phrase, getting the shit knocked out of you, right?
That was me.
That was me. And give
Yeah,
you,
I never,
I'll give you a
I never
quick
had
little
that happen, and I
analogy,
never
right?
did it.
So that saying, knock the shit out of you, scared the shit out of you.
Switches, Hot Wheel tracks,
I had-
whatever they can put their
my
hands
daughter
on.
had this
That's
little,
why we're
this
one
little,
who we're all one who flew over the cuckoo's nest.
No, hold on. That's on that side of the room. Let me just say. So every time Chris,
forgot.
whenever Chris got like Hot Wheels for Christmas, he
I
panicked.
fucking hit him, man. I gave them to my friends. I hit him. I threw him
get it.
away.
I know what that. Oh my God, it's got extra track. I'm in
Oh
trouble.
my God.
I hid under the
cars
house.
are bigger.
I was blessed. I had a close knit, very loving, caring Italian family.
But hey, Charles
I
and
lucked
Ray,
out.
listen to this. If I can
ahead.
ask you guys a question,
Sure.
right? Were you happy it happened that way?
Yes.
Me? Absolutely.
Of course.
I've got lifetime, olive tree marks on my body.
Yeah, right,
But at
right.
I
the
got a
same
scar
time,
right here.
listen, but at the same time,
Sure.
I'm not robbing banks.
Don't
Right.
don't
He's
raise your hand
freaking-
quick around him. He will flinch.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not robbing banks. I'm not screwing somebody in another country. I'm not
Right,
cryptocurrency,
right.
some sham, or this guy named Wang that's going to prison.
right.
Nice job, clown.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? It's just
No, but-
all these things. I became a police officer.
Yeah.
I
locked up the badge, then I found
Sure.
out, it was more politics than it
Than
was.
anything else?
On the side of the car it said
Right.
protect and serve.
Sure.
That's bullshit.
Right.
But anyways, you
More
try
like,
to
more like beat and serve.
beat it. I've done
But
these.
it
Yeah.
goes. It goes.
well,
it
Got
goes-
away with that a few times.
It goes.
He's got
pretty,
one.
it goes pretty much one way or the other.
Yeah.
All right. Either you went through that hardship and you swear to yourself you will lift yourself up and you will never do that to another human being, or you become the very human being that mistreated you. There's almost not a ton
It
of gray
was-
areas
and it-
in between. So when I look at you guys,
Yeah.
you guys lift yourself up and just said, "I'm going to be my own self.
Yep.
I'm going to be my own man." I was on the other side where I'm a huge empath because that's all I had. My parents, and they loved and cared for us like crazy.
you got hooked up.
I watched everyone they came in contact with. They tried to
Right.
help the world.
Right.
My mom used to say, "It's real simple. I take care of the neighbor to my left and to the right. They do the same thing. Everyone is taken care of." Right?
Almost sounds
It
like
was very
Fantasy
old-
Island,
it was
but,
very-
but the,
yeah, no.
the reality is most of us went through a lot of shit in our life,
Deplane,
right?
deplane.
And I didn't necessarily
Fantasy
have to do
Island.
that. Yeah. And then I
That too.
I
Mr.
came
Warren,
across
right?
I
Just
came
saying.
across people that went through that pain.
Of course.
I still have the
And
marks
then
on
I
my
just tried to-
back with the
Most of us
belt,
have.
with the leather belt that I used to get.
All right.
Enough about that.
So there's a bunch of stuff going around
Sure.
out there. You just can't take a wooden nickel. And when in doubt, open that hand up. Don't be
That's
afraid
it.
to smack the
That's it.
shit out of somebody.
That's
Because that's
Let me
the
tell
only
you one
way
thing.
that
Right.
you're going to wake somebody
fuck up.
up.
I don't
Right.
but I don't agree with that. I never hit my kid once
Just
in
bring
my
your-
life.
We're not
Just
talking
bring
about
him over here.
We're not talking about your
Come over
kids.
here.
I
a
will
little
tell you.
bit.
I will tell you what I did to my kids.
What'd
What'd
you do to
you
your
do?
kids, Rob?
From the very beginning, when they were small, I always talked to them like adults.
Got it.
Whenever they did something a little
Right.
bit wrong,
Right.
I would sit one of them down and say, "Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Someone does that to you. How are you feeling? Please explain to me how you thought that was right." And then they'll start to smile and they go, "No, that
Right.
wasn't right." I let them convince me that their action was correct or
Got it.
incorrect.
That's
Hey,
great.
Rob, have you ever owned a dog?
Oh, yeah.
You went through potty training before? Potty training a dog, right?
And-
The piss and shit on your carpet, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How'd you cure him of that? Just
Well,
curiosity.
first of all, not like my brother who puts the paper down in the house and teaches them how to shit
Okay.
in the house.
What would you do?
My mom would always train them to go out. All her dogs. I never grew up without a dog.
Sure.
Always had dogs. At least
Let
one.
the dogs out.
Okay, and all of her dogs within the first month would start go dancing near the door, and she would know they needed to go.
Is this
out.
an ASPCA?
No.
Well, I want to be correct here because how to train
Where
my
are
dog.
we going with this?
Tell me
There we
something,
go.
Charles.
Yeah, grab them by the neck like their mother dog picks them up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slap the shit out of their ass, right, to get the shit out of them, right, and then put them outside, right. So I'm a dog lover. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you gotta treat them with tough discipline and hard love.
Do you have Hot Wheel
Scare
tracks
'em.
at home?
Absolutely, I do.
But my question is to
Right.
you: why is it that when we were growing up, our dogs were outside in a dog house?
Right.
Now these dogs are in
They're
fur coats.
inside.
They're in
Inside.
strollers. They're
Sure.
in fucking everything.
Right.
You can think
I
about.
hate
what
that.
have we done to
I don't know about
society?
Hazel.
Come
I
on,
don't know about
man.
Hazel, but
Jesus Christ.
That's Tutu.
My daughter spent
Okay.
$9,000 on the dog.
No,
Eyes.
flip it.
Yeah,
What?
$9,000
Wow.
because he was going like this with with
Sure.
a rope and
Right.
hit the car.
You think
What are you gonna do?
maybe she might have some daddy issues from the past?
Fuck, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
$9,000. My dad used to take. Hey, if my dad found out this dog was sick, he would take him 20 blocks away and drop him off and say, "Die
See
there."
you later.
That's
See you
it,
later.
man.
I'll get another one.
So the moral of the story is you want to get in before NEM3.
We got an ending.
My dad used to say, "We're gonna take him for a ride."
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Right.
Hey, but that happened one time. My dad did that.
Yeah?
3 days later, that dog was in front of our house.
Came back.
You were feeding him
Ain't that a
pasta,
motherfucker?
rigatoni.
That's
You
it,
fucking
that's
feel
it.
like a king.
Beans
You think
and
you get rid of me
cheese.
that easy? Ain't
bean
getting me that
burrito.
easy, pal.
You kept tit feeding the
It was a
dog.
bean
see?
burrito.
You kept doing the titty thing, titty feeding.
But that is a
terrible.
true story. That is a
That's
true story.
insane. That's
I
insane.
believe it.
Yeah.
There are amazing animals. Guys, right?
Let's do one more topic
What do we
here
got,
right
guys?
before we
What do we
go.
got?
We're at like 50 some odd minutes.
Sure,
but it doesn't
sure.
really matter.
do we got
Okay,
next?
housing implosion.
Housing implosion.
Come on,
not
Charles,
explosion.
tell us about that.
Come on,
All right,
Charles.
guys. So, a little bit about my experience with housing loans. I've been doing mortgages for 25 years. Right, got it when I was 25 years old, a little over 50 now. So I've been through a few roller coasters. Right, the implosion of the housing market in 2007, 8, and 9. Right, and recently, with the whole COVID pandemic, etc. We saw interest rates be the lowest of all time. I'm talking about a year ago, I was doing a 30-year fixed mortgage for 2.5%, 2.25%, guys.
No way.
Yeah.
Now, the last, 30, 45 days, now rates are about 4% for a same conforming fixed loan, right? And so a little bit about the housing market now and loans, because of direct correlation with each other. As the rates go up, obviously, right, you as a borrower, you guys are homeowners here, right?
Yeah.
Well, what happens? Well, now instead of a 3% 30-year fix, you're at a 4.25%. Now your payment's about $800 or $1,000 more. Yeah. So that's significantly going to impact, you as a borrower as far as, should I buy a home now? Well, what about this, guys? What about the fact that the housing prices are through the roof?
Yeah.
I know a lot of realtors.
What's up with that? Is that going to topple off someday, or
You know what, guys? It's
outpriced?
it's only going to topple off, when there's an influx of inventory. And so
Yeah. It's supply and demand again.
supply and demand like everything else.
But isn't the problem too is when the house prices go up, all the rents go up too.
Of course.
Like
Well,
I rent right now because I'm
Of course.
between marriages. I don't have a cheap rent. I'm
well,
21. I'm
has your
2100
rent
bucks.
increased in the last couple of years a little bit?
Yeah, but they've been very good. It's like
Okay.
honestly,
The
this place
boiling frog, Charles.
No, every year
Right.
or so they go up about $30, $40. But
Sure.
quite honestly, the amount of work they do around the place and gardening and
Yeah, it is
changing,
pretty immaculate.
and new
Well,
this
where-
rocks,
where do you
all
live?
new
What city
gardening.
do you live in?
Montclair,
Yeah.
Montclair, but
Montclair.
I tell you,
It's a nice area.
the amount of work they should
Sure.
be actually charging me quite a bit
Got
more.
it.
In fact, because I've been there, if I leave, they get about $200-$300 more per month on my
Now,
unit.
correct.
Now,
Right.
they just increased me very, very little. They've been
Sure.
more than fair, but still, we're talking about my rent is $2,065 a month.
For a 2-bedroom.
2-bedroom. I got
Sure.
I got my own garage, but I have a
Right.
private parking out front as well.
Right.
Do you have solar?
No, I don't know. No, they don't do solar. I've been wanting them to do it for the common ground,
Right,
But we got a gym. Your dog would love it. They've got a dog washing
Absolutely.
place. You ought to see the stuff they've got on
part
here.
of the good reason why you're renting, Rob, right, is because the market is so crazy out there.
No, I went through divorce.
And you went through divorce. I get it. Divorce. I hear, ouch.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But even right now, guys, I did a loan for a purchase in Palmdale. You know where freaking Palmdale is?
I sold a lot
What
of solar in
shithole is
In the middle of the
Palmdale?
50
desert?
miles from here.
Yeah.
So one of my buddies.
I sold every deal in Palmdale for solar,
Well,
believe
here
it or not.
you're going to sell this guy next.
They
All
all
right.
sell there.
So this guy works for Uber or Lyft. I know the guy for many years, and he goes, Charles, I want to buy a house in Palmdale.
Yeah.
Palmdale, okay. All right, gotcha. So the reason being, obviously, it's a lot cheaper out there. You bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool for $275,000. I think.
Yeah, right?
Palmdale?
In
Yeah.
Palmdale. Now this
Should have
is,
gave it away.
yeah, they should
His
have paid him to
electric
move
bill was
over there.
400.
But let me tell you, this even
Yeah.
gets better, guys. So this deal closed about 3 months ago. The appraised value came in at $250,000. The sales price is $275,000.
Yeah.
You know what the seller told the homeowner, my buddy? Well, if you want the house, you got to come out with the extra $15,000 or $25,000
Right.
on this one,
Right.
$250 to $275 to close escrow, or I got Johnny on the spot or Ricky Tick as
Yeah.
backup offer is going to pay that.
Oh, yeah.
So he called. We're having a conversation with Charles. What should I do? Well, what are your options? He's living out and renting out in Glendale, $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom.
Oh,
Him and his
wow.
wife
Yeah.
and 2 kids.
Yeah.
And obviously, he can't afford anything in LA or Glendale because
Right.
that same house can go for $600,000, $700,000 or $800,000.
Easy, yeah.
But the moral of the story, real quickly, is that he had to pay $25,000
Premium.
over
Yeah.
the appraised value.
And
Yeah.
we're talking Palmdale.
Palmdale,
Palmdale.
right?
Palmdale.
And so that's what's happening right now. All over California, all over the United
Right.
States, actually, right?
Right.
So it's pretty scary. So, getting back to our topic here, as far as inventory, well.
Yeah.
What's going to happen next? What needs to happen is that the moratorium,
Forbearances,
Right.
loan
Okay.
modifications.
they need to pull the fucking carpet and get rid of these lowlifes and foreclose upon them. Okay, hit the bricks, pal. Okay, hit the bricks.
We got to take that button away from Chris.
Get that titty suckers out.
Titty suckers out.
are gone.
And that's gonna, that's gonna give us inventory in the
Inventory.
market,
You know-
and it's gonna be corrected, hopefully.
So do you think the interest rates are going to go down because of that?
No. So, the good old feds, right? The good old boys club is saying that, imagine this concept. Well, if you raise the interest rates, it's going to really help our economy. How in the fuck is that going to help the economy, guys? Just
Who's the
saying.
economy?
You know what? When
the feds.
when I-
the feds. The feds.
That story reminds me when I bought my house. I bought a house in Pasadena
Sure,
with baby
sure.
mama. Right.
Oh, okay.
We were near the Lake District,
Right.
renting a condo. It was
Sure.
really nice. Got a house near the Hastings area. I'm
Right.
sure you know the area. You do. You're living out that way, right?
Yes, sir.
I bought the smallest house on the block that had the biggest houses. All right. So to me, it was the entry level home, right?
Got it. Okay.
There were 12 prospects trying to buy it and bid
12.
on it. 12.
Right. 12.
Now, the one day I went and saw it, do you know what I saw? I saw the owner there getting ready to leave. My realtor said, "That's the owner." Right. So I went over and I said, "Hi, how are you?"
Right.
So we met, we talked. You know me, I'm
Little-
personable. We
Gotcha.
chatted.
Talked about
So
your family a little bit. I'm imagining,
everything.
Saw a bunch of dogs.
played the violin a little bit.
Do you know what my realtor said?
Heart, blah,
No, I'm
blah,
telling
blah.
you, you know what my
Right.
realtor told me? You know what my
Just
realtor
saying.
told me? She
Yeah.
said, I said, write her a letter.
Right.
She's gonna have 12
Oh,
offers.
wow. Imagine that.
Wrote her an offer. Do you know
Sure.
what I wrote? You saw my little boy that day. It was really nice meeting you. That backyard.
Just
No, hold on. Think about
I can
this.
see a swing set right
No,
there right
I
now.
said
Bring your kids everywhere.
That
I just-
backyard
Of course.
is for my son.
Right now, I just bought
I
him
would
a dog, but
appreciate
we don't have a
anything.
backyard for
I
him. This would be
hope-
perfect for him.
I hope my bid is high enough. Well, you know what the realtor told me? Well, first of all, obviously, I got the house.
That's a good one.
So hold on. I got the house.
Yeah, of course
The
you
buyer
did.
contacted
Right,
me.
right.
You know what they said?
What?
You weren't the highest bid. You weren't the
course not.
lowest. You were
Right.
somewhere in the middle. And you know what she said?
Right.
I always tried to have kids and I couldn't.
There you go.
I bought the house
The emotional
because
close.
the street,
Absolutely.
the street was a canopy street.
course.
There's nothing but kids on it. No,
Right.
seriously, the backyard beautiful and all. And that happened. And guess
Right.
what? So
Couldn't
she
have
closed with
kids.
me. I bought the house.
Right.
And then the house around the corner we were looking at had 21 bids on it 3 days
Right.
later.
Of course.
The emotional
I was at a
close.
time when the inventory was low, the prices were up. I paid
Right.
$460 or $70 for a house in Pasadena that during our marriage went up to $750,000.
Pasadena.
Pasadena. Was that south or?
So take a look at Allen and Mountain.
Pasadena.
You go up Allen to
that's,
Mountain,
That's Pasadena.
and you go right. So it's right down where it curves down. There's $1 million homes.
Right.
So what I always looked at is I was at least
always
a little
bring
smart.
your kid.
Yeah.
Well, she saw
a dog.
She saw the little kid in the stroller. No, and it turns out I met her later. She was a lovely woman, her and her husband,
course.
and they were like, "We wanted you to have the house. We saw your kid. That was why we bought it."
Okay.
And so sometimes there is that sort of thing, but you're right. When the inventory is low, the prices are through the roof.
Of course.
That's why people are moving out of California.
The push.
Well, that and
prices
the
are going
entire,
up everywhere.
but it's the entire cost of California.
Right.
not
Hey,
just the housing.
listen. I don't care if California catches on fire. It's got the best weather. It's got the best of everything. So
Most
within an
beautiful
hour,
women
I can go to the
around.
mountains, the desert,
Right.
the ocean. I can Chinese, whatever,
and to circle
whatever I
back,
want to
A
do.
little sashimi.
No,
Right?
and
Sushi?
to circle back, it's one of the best states for solar.
The
we have
best
a
state
long,
on the planet.
warm, lit
Forget
days.
Texas,
Yes, right.
dreary. Oregon,
we
people
have-
jumping off cliffs.
Right.
So we have on the bell curve, when you look at a bell curve of
Right.
sunlight hours, right?
Right.
We have more than most states. We also have higher utility costs than most states.
Right.
That is, those two things alone is why you need to be considering going solar.
Solar.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree, Rob.
Say solar.
Yeah, no.
All right, boys. So it looks like we're going to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Enough abuse for everybody
Right.
for today.
Thank you for the first time allowing
Yeah,
me to do this.
Ray's
This was
in the
wonderful.
house.
I had a great time.
Woo-hoo.
Thank
Nice.
you.
There you go.
So we'll see you next time, maybe.
Yes, definitely.
Did you have
Absolutely.
fun?
Absolutely.
You got to hang out with us and Hazel and everybody else.
Hazel, everybody. Hazel.
I
She's
think
sleeping now as
I
usual,
think we
right?
need to brand her QHI.
QHI?
Something. She is
That's
Well,
actually,
we did.
She
She's
is.
on
We did already.
LinkedIn.
She's
She's on
on the
LinkedIn.
She is the
Yeah.
sweetest soul.
He is.
She's on
She is the-
Instagram.
no,
She
she's
is.
just like the calmest, sweetest soul of a dog.
Wow.
Yeah, I love. She's like my kids. I gotta bring my kids. They
Yeah,
love
bring
her.
your kids.
I will.
She loves kids.
What do you got planned for this weekend,
They're
Ray?
young adults now, huh?
What do you got planned for this weekend?
You know what? I'm going to be with you.
Hey, we did a little
wow. Are
hiking,
you
take
sure
the
about
drone
that?
out,
That's it.
right?
There you go.
Nice.
All right,
I like it.
yeah.
Maybe
I'm
some
liking
customers,
that.
something
I'm liking
like
that.
What are you doing, Charles?
That's a good question.
What are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
I'm going to go have
Mine's
Chinese
already-
food.
Mine's
Hopefully, I'm
already
gonna wake
planned.
up tomorrow morning to start.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that
Other
always
than that,
helps.
you know,
That's the start.
nothing
Right?
planned.
Right? You and Hazel?
Me and Hazel, my daughter.
Okay,
That's it.
nice.
Good old stuff.
She's
you know what?
11?
I might even.
How old's your daughter again?
She's 11.
So
That's a
cute.
Little
That's nice.
Sophia. Right.
So when you go
That's
buy a
nice.
house,
That name. Do
take
you-
your daughter.
yeah, of course.
That would have been the middle name of my daughter if I
well,
didn't divorce the narcissist.
You know who I named her
She
after?
was going to be Italia Sofia.
Sophia Regara and Sophia Loren.
Finding
Classic.
Nemo.
And those two women are beautiful. So I
Beautiful.
go, you know, my daughter's gonna
It's a
be
beautiful
beautiful
name.
Sophia.
Yeah,
There
it's a
you
beautiful
go.
name.
I love
That
it.
was
I love
That
it.
was it, guys.
Me?
Rob, what do you got planned?
Rob?
My oldest turns 20 on Sunday.
Oh, that's right.
So we're going to spend the weekend together. And because he's into those books,
Comic books, stuff like that. What type of comic books
it's
are you
called
into?
manga.
Manga.
Something like that. It's and they read backwards. It's incredible. The illustrations
In Chinese,
are amazing.
Japanese,
Yeah,
or what?
Japanese.
What do you mean backwards?
Parlez-vous
What I
français?
mean is the
Yeah.
front of the
The
book
fuck
is the
you
back.
talking about
no,
backwards, kid?
The back of the
possessed
book.
or
Hold on,
something?
Does it say
No, what is-
666?
The back of the book is the front.
I was just saying.
No, the back of the book's the front.
Are you kidding me?
back
So
of the
you
book's the
turn it
front.
this way. You go through it all that way. The graphics are.
It's like
No wonder,
Ebonics.
no wonder why their eyes are all so fucked up.
It's amazing. He's got. I just bought him another one. He said he's at 107. He's at 179 books.
Your son is not cross-sighted now,
yeah,
right?
You're crushed. Yeah, you're really gonna fuck them up.
I
Okay,
found.
go ahead.
I found a store. I found a store in LA yesterday.
Yeah.
While I'm nursing my bad.
And he
neck.
loves it, right?
No. I found a store in LA that is supposedly one of the biggest collections. They have them all in Japanese and they have them in English.
Wow.
But they have the largest collection anywhere within like 50,
Wow.
60 miles, 100
Are you
miles.
kidding me?
So I'm just gonna surprise him. I'm gonna
How
take
cool
him
is
there.
that?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
hand him some cash and say go crazy, and then we're gonna have some nice food in Pasadena.
Oh, there you go.
We'll be
Hey,
in Pasadena.
there you go.
But Japanese records, Japanese CDs are the best. Your son's into records, right?
Well, my youngest is into but he's like into.
They make
he's
the
into,
best records.
Oh my
on the
god, my
planet.
youngest son is so into Dylan, it's ridiculous.
Oof.
All right, guys, I'm cutting you off.
Sounds great.
Hey, Rob, Charles,
Yep.
Ray, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Energy Hour, appreciate it.
No problem.
We'll see you guys next time and bring over some other crazy things to talk
Solar,
about,
solar,
right?
solar.
Go solar, right?
Go solar.
Buy a house,
Absolutely.
refi now.
Or go home.
Got
And
it.
if you don't got a home, call Charles.
Call
set you up
Charles.
with a
He'll
mortgage.
set you
There
up
you
with a
go.
mortgage.
And the smart loan.
And the smart loan.
And with the
Smart
smart loan,
Next
we'll
time we'll
include the
talk
solar.
about the smart loan, how it works.
The smart loan is so good.
And put the solar right in with that. That's
C.
beautiful.
Miller at QHIINC.com. Learn about the smart loan, everybody. Have
Awesome.
a great weekend. Take care.
Yep.
Take care.
You got it. Let's do it again.
Thank you for listening to The Energy
That was
Hour.
fun.
Visit them on the internet by going to QHIInc.com/TEO. That's QHIINC.com/TEO.
This podcast is brought to you by Aliva Digital Marketing, lead generation and SEO for local businesses. Increase your web presence with their results in advanced strategy, including a video website audit and analysis for free. Listeners of this podcast can get 75% off Aliva's fees. But hurry, only the first 5 businesses that inquire can get this deal. Aliva Digital Marketing, a proud sponsor of this podcast. Online at alivadigital.com.
Capture the joyful magic of the holiday season with Virtual Santa. Virtual Santa is a high-definition projection effect that walks, waves, laughs, eats cookies, and puts presents under the tree. From outside, it's so real, you swear Santa's in your house. Virtual Santa, originally seen on ABC's The Great Christmas Light Fight. You can choose from traditional Virtual Santa or new African American Santa. Holiday effects include Virtual Santa, Mrs. Claus, Santa's Workshop with Christmas elves, and so much more. Buy one effect or a bundle. Available in HD DVD, digital download, or USB flash drive. Also available in LED projection bundles. For a winning Christmas display that will delight your neighbors young and old, visit us at virtualsanta.com and become known as the house where Santa lives. Virtual Santa, where holiday spirit begins.
Did you guys know that your solar panels will produce less energy when they're dirty? Why would you pay all that money for a solar system and lose energy? You might be losing up to 30%. Hey, check this out. My friend Ozzy is going to come out to your home or business and clean your solar panels with distilled water, not regular tap water. They're going to do it right. Check them out on the internet at MrGlossy.com. That's MrGlossy.com. You can also give them a call at 909-955-5506.
Solaria. Beauty, efficiency, and power. For nearly 20 years, Solaria has set the pace for solar panel performance, efficiency, reliability, quality, and design. Solaria continues to leverage its patented technology, engineering expertise, and sophisticated automation into creating one of the most attractive, energy-efficient solar panels available on the market today. Redefining home solar. Solaria's high-output solar panels deliver maximum energy production in a streamlined, all-black design that complements your home's architectural style with more than 20% more energy per square meter than traditional solar panels. Solaria's advanced Power XT panels pack maximum power into minimum space for industrial leading efficiency. Enjoy clean, reliable power day in and day out, backed by our 25-year warranty. Solaria is the new benchmark for solar energy. Quality you can trust for your home and business. For more information, go to QHIINC.com/Solaria.
Got your latest electric bill? Is it less than last month or last year? Probably not. But if you had a solar system from QHI, it would be. Your electric meter could be running backwards. Right now, get a QHI system installed for no money down, no out-of-pocket expenses. Get an immediate savings on your electric bill. Call 909-609-5437. Solar is all they do. Call QHI 909-609-5437.